Ancient Albatross here again with the Cypher Unlimited crew. We have our usual suspects of Spigs18 or Anthony. We have AD or Alpha Dean or simply Dean. And Dean, what are we doing here today?
Well, as everybody can see, we have a few special guests here. So what's going to happen tonight on Cypher Unlimited? We're going to take, we're going to let Anthony take the reins and take us on a wonderful adventure. We're going to be doing an adaptation of Sky High. This particular adventure is called A Night at the Movies. And I'm going to turn everything over to Anthony. He's going to bring everything back full circle. He's going to introduce our guests tonight, and we're going to have a blast. And
all right, now the pressure's on because now now I feel obligated to provide a blast, but I guess I have to take over the reins.
Just leave that part to us. It'll be fine.
Yeah. So I guess like how Dean said, we're playing a teenage superhero adventure. I don't know if anybody's ever seen the Disney movie Sky High, but it's one of my favorite movies of all time. So I'm just happy to explore in the super space. So we're gonna go down one by one on all our wonderful guests players, and they're gonna tell us who they are, what they're playing, and I'm gonna ask them a quick little question. So I'll start off with Jera, since he gave me that big vote of confidence. If you say
yeah, so I'm Jera. I'm playing Gilgamesh, who is a vengeful adept who employs magnetism.
Oh, nice. Out of the party, do you have some sort of connection to somebody in the group, and what is that connection?
So, I was thinking, I totally forgot the character name already, but I was thinking,
the player.
Yeah, I was thinking that I'm connected to, oh God, sorry guys.
No worries.
Let me,
you are
Santa Claus. Darren. Santa Claus. Sorry.
Oh, okay, cool.
Because like we would mutually know one of our classmates who's a big brain.
Oh,
awesome. Right. Okay.
All right. So that leads us to Umberto. You're next on the list. Could you tell us who you're playing and what connection do you have with someone at the table?
Yeah. So I'm Umberto. I also go by Techman, and I play Darren Bari, who's who goes by the handle Sandclaw. He's a graceful warrior who channels bestial aspects.
Nice.
And he's an exchange student from around Cairo, from a little town of Nasir. And he knows Kyle, who's the sidekick in terms of the high school, because of course there's only supers and sidekicks. And so Kyle, the big brain, who would definitely, top of the class at Ivy League, is like, whatever, at this place. But he showed me the ropes. He was the type of person that, as an exchange student, like, oh man, yeah, I know. This person needs to really know about the high school. So.
You have wings. Is that correct?
Yes, I do. I basically.
Do you hide them, or are they out in the open for the world to see?
So it's because of the fact that I feel connected to Horus, the winged god, that they imbue, and essentially my arms become actual wings, and not only that, claws form as well.
Oh, that's awesome. And besides Kyle, do you have a connection with someone else at the in your class? And why would you have that connection?
Yeah, so I've noticed. Sometimes I notice Kevin, who basically seems to always disappear once in a while, but I just never understand it. So I'm trying to figure out his trick, and so it's very curious to me, like how he can actually be here and not here sometimes when I turn my head. So it's very curious to me, because I was a musician and performer in Cairo, so that it's like I'd like to learn a new trick or something.
Oh, that leads us to one of our golden ones, Ali.
Hi guys.
Yeah.
I'm Ollie, also Spangle Maker on the on Cypher Unlimited, and I'm a Golden Girl, preferably Sophia, but Blanche will do. And tonight I'm playing Kevin Drake, who's a 12-year-old. I'm a foolish charmer who infiltrates, and I have the ability to disappear, also to make other things disappear. So I'm a little bit magical, but it is really just a trick. Or is it?
Ooh, nice.
I'm
So
an English.
I was gonna say I have two questions for you, Ali.
Yeah.
One is how did a 12-year-old get into high school 2 years ahead of his time, which is awesome, by the way. And who are you connected to, by the way?
Well, I'm an orphan, and actually I think I've been adopted by. I'm being sponsored by the state, and Principal Powers is my ward. So that's why I've been brought forward, because of my powers are a little bit advanced, and yet I'm actually repeating the 6th grade. So I'm actually like three years behind, but I'm getting help.
Oh, that's awesome. And is there another player at the table that you have some sort of connection with?
Well, I'm always fascinated by sculpture, because sculpture has this really cool ability of making stuff, and sometimes I just grab some of the stuff and make it disappear, and then have a bad habit of making it reappear.
To sculpture's frustration.
That leads us to Ancient Al.
Oh yeah, perfect segue. Yeah, so I'm Ancient Albatross. Hey yo, it's your boy. I'm playing Trevor, or his hero name is Sculpture. His full sentence is he's a creative warrior. He's using the focus exists partially out of phase, but we flavored it to be body is made of non-Newtonian fluids. So essentially, he can control clay. His mom and his dad, he's from the Caribbean and the Barbados. They moved over here when his mom got some marine biology work. But his dad had sandstorm abilities. He could control sand, and his mom could control water. So it became like a mix of them, and he could control clay. He also got like a mixture of their personality, where usually calm and cool, but if the wrong thing should happen, or if something he really cares about is messed with, he can be set off pretty heavily into the anger mode. But Trevor, he's not really interested in crime fighting or being a world-saving superhero. After Sky High, he plans on going back to the beaches of the Caribbean and selling his pottery to tourists.
Oh, nice. And who does Trevor have a connection with at the table?
Well, for sure with Vanish, but that was pre-established. Every now and then the young kid will just come and look at me while I'm making clay sculptures or whatever have you, and he'll take a particularly interesting looking one, and his trickery will make it go away. I'll get frustrated, and then a couple minutes later he'll just bring it back laughing like, I was here the whole time, and I've come to like the annoyance. He's like almost a little brother to me. But I would also say that Sandclaw might enjoy my sculptures as well, because sometimes I can make some really intricate patterns, almost like what's that guy, MC Escher, they almost don't make sense physics wise. So he tries to figure out exactly how I'm making these weird looking objects.
Yeah, it's like I get fascination over a whole lot of stuff here in Sky High. It's blowing my mind. It's just a simple musician over in Cairo.
and that leads us to Alpha Dean.
Well, of course, I'm Alpha Dean, guys. How's everybody doing today? I'll be playing Marcos Linux, otherwise known as Saga. And 15 years ago, there was a superhero named Valerie Linux, otherwise known to the world as the Protector. She was, and she spent a lot of time fighting enemies that were from space or fighting out in outer space. And about 15 years ago, she disappeared, and she had flew out to find to stop a rogue asteroid that was hurtling towards Earth. And then suddenly, when she finally made it back to Earth, she was pregnant. And 9 months later, there was born Marcos. Whenever Marcos asks about his mother about his father, she just smiles and looks at the sky, and the answer is always the same. That's a story from when you're older. At 13 years of age, Marcos' abilities began to manifest, and his sentence is Marcos Saga Linux is a primordial warrior who wields cosmic energy. And just for everybody's information out there, that particular focus and descriptor is from my creation of Heroic Essentials, which is a bunch of additional foci that are superhero themed and based. That's him.
You have two connections. One I'm gonna give you. Kimberly, who is your cousin, also attends the school, and she happens to be in your homeroom. She has the ability to replicate up to 12 times herself. She can replicate herself into 12 times, and she's your cousin, and you feel obligated to, take care of her. And you're connected to someone else in the group. Who are you connected to, and why?
That would probably be me and Gilgamesh, where he is forming and shaping this clay-like material. My character shapes energy.
Oh, that's
that's sculpture.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, sculpture. I said the wrong name. Trevor.
I employ magnetism.
Right. No, so it's Trevor. So like I said, and I think we probably kind of feed off of each other, the fact that we're both kind of artistic about it, where my character, basically makes energy constructs, and he doesn't have any, outside device or anything to do it. He literally can do it, at will, and it's basically been dubbed that he's actually pulling in, energies all across the electromagnetic spectrum, cosmic energy that filters through the atmosphere is what he absorbs and manipulates.
Awesome.
Cool. Yeah.
So I guess, is everybody ready to start this?
I
Yes.
believe so. Yeah.
It's another typical day for the students of Liberty City. The only problem is you're not typical students. You're teen supers who attend the best school of its kind, Sky High. As Ron Wilson, your favorite friendly bus driver, always says, what would Liberty City do if it didn't have Sky High and all the great heroes who walk its hallowed halls? Whether it's giant meteor storms raining down at your local shopping mall, or radioactive mole men trying to enslave humanity. Maybe even Grandma Agnes losing her favorite kitten, Whiskers, for the 5th time this week. Someone from Sky High is there, ready and willing to help. So I guess it's another typical day. Or is it? Did the image change, guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
The 5 of you find yourselves in homeroom class 318. It's the beginning of the school day. You're all been the midway point of your freshman year of high school, which all of you having passed your hero exams and been placed in the superhero program. We'll assume that, you guys are all familiar with each other and are friends somewhat since we established connections. Everyone is seated when all of a sudden you see the image of Kyle appear at the door holding a big cardboard box. And he immediately blinks, and he blinks right in front of, well, hold on one second. Right in front of Sandclaw, and he drops the box. And he goes, "Hey, Darren, what's up? I got the coolest thing here. You want to see?"
What is it?
Remember I told you I've been working on some utility belts for you guys. Check it out. And you see he digs his hand in and he starts pulling out these big belts with what looks like elaborate light patterns running across them. And in the front of the belt has the school crest logo blinking, and it's like rotating blinking lights, red, blue, yellow. And he drops them on the table. He goes, I made 6 of them for you guys.
fantastic. I'll have one, Kyle.
He hands you. How are you guys situated? Are you seated next to each other or near each other?
Are we the only ones in this particular class?
Dean missed session 0 15 seconds ago. No, you have there's the I don't know if you saw in the group chat where I gave you a list of other students. There's your cousins also in this class. There's twins Haley and Jordan. There's Henry Ramos. He controls animals and he's sort of like a jock. And Kyle, who's the brain of the group, and he's what you call it. He's Santa Claus' best friend.
Okay, so we were probably, I would say, just because it's Sky High, we have a U-shaped seating process where everybody can see everybody. It's an open room, so there's no, we can't really be cliquish. So it's like a big view. He's to wherever whoever talks, he's standing in the middle or be seen, and so on and so forth.
Yeah. So he goes, come on, guys, gather around. And you hear off in the in the back, you see Henry Ramos. He's sitting chatting the two McCormick twins, and you hear him. He puts his arm around Haley and he goes, "Oh, the nerds are at it again."
I walk over to the box from my seat. I leave the pottery or the clay I was messing with on my table. My table is like caked in clay, basically. Like the edges have like hard clay because I'm not really careful about cleaning it up afterwards. I have a small little like dinosaur clay figure on one end. Maybe a couple other things. But either way, I get up from my desk. I walk over to the box that Kyle placed, and I reach in and I take I don't know. Tell me what. Hey, Kyle, which one's mine?
He goes, "Oh, yours is this one," and he pulls out one, and you notice that it has the crest of the school. But if you look closely, it has the Barbados like a logo of the island.
Yeah.
In the center of the crest. You go, I thought you would like this one particularly special.
I take it. I was like, oh, I noticed. It's like, oh yeah, home, nice. And I start wrapping it around my waist or whatever.
And as you standing there, Kimberly appears over your shoulder, and she goes, "Oh, gifts!" And then you see another Kimberly on the other side of your shoulder, and then you turn around, you see there's 3 more Kimberlys directly in front of you, looking, holding your belt. Like, oh, this color scheme is really ugly. And she hands it back to you.
like to me, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, damn it, Kim, it's none of your business. None of your business is. I don't know, man. I put my belt on.
And then you see, all of a sudden, you see like 6 more of her appear over the box. Where's mine? And she's like grabbing every belt as she's pulling them out. Right, everyone, I assume, is going to grab a belt because this is what will hold your ciphers.
Yeah, I kind of walk over and I'm like, kind of twirling sort of a piece of metal in my hand, and as I kind of like see Kimberly digging through them, whichever one I know is, I'm assuming I can see is mine. I don't even walk up to the box. I just kind of pull it over using my magnetism, like. And grab it and go, cool. And shove it on my waist.
How did it look when you use your power? Like, what's that look like to us visually?
So, I'm kind of picturing it as like maybe a little bit of like a wave of distortion, but it's not as incredibly visible until something moves, essentially. And you can kind of see just, like I said, a little bit of a ripple through the air of just the energy kind of pulling it it wherever.
So when you did that, right, you see the box shakes and then you see one belt shoots up. And that belt, the reason why it shot up is because it has a trim of iron wrapped around, specifically designed for you to be able to move it around. And it had a higher content of metal for you to be able to grab it. So you immediately know that one was designed for you.
Yeah. So I'm just like, All right, sweet.
Well, you shoot it to your hand. You see 4 Kimberlys turning your direction, and they all go, and then she zooms back into one person.
I wink at her and I go, like, hey.
As everyone is grabbing their stuff, that's when Mr. Boy walks in, and he goes, okay, kids, settle down now. That's the image. Mr. Boyd is your homeroom teacher, and he's the image that you see before you. He goes, could everyone please take a seat? Please take a seat. We have a very special guest coming to address the class, and I have very exciting news. Very exciting news indeed. We have a celebrity in our class, guys. Everybody, please take a seat. Please take a seat.
Yeah, I go
well, before I take my seat, I look over and I go, so Kyle, you got something in there for me?
I have something. Do I have something for you? Yeah, I spent a lot of time thinking about how to best utilize your powers. I have something for you. And he goes into the box, and you see he pulls out a pitch black belt, and he hands it over to you, and he goes, I think you will really enjoy what, I worked on the physics. The math was quite hard. Do you have about 20 minutes so I can explain it to you?
Well, Kyle, I love to speak physics with you. I mean, physics and chemistry are my babies as it is. But, Mr. Boyd's got a special guest for us, so we got to sit down and get to that. We'll talk about it real soon, And then I look over.
He goes, I think I know what he's going to talk about. I entered a pretty prestigious national science fair, and I think I won.
You probably did.
Yeah. Fantastic, Kevin.
It came to me overnight. I came up with the idea for a nuclear radiation stabilizer. In 10, 15 years, I could eliminate nuclear reactors in a hole, and we could contain that much energy in maybe the size of a laptop. I worked the math. If you have about 45 minutes.
Trust me. For real. You and I, we're going to sit down because, I'm one of the few people in the classroom that understands the physics and the math and everything. That's my thing. But let me get over here.
I definitely agree that you will understand to some degree. Yes.
And then I'll say, but just let me get over here and get everything situated, and we'll be all set. And just so you guys know, I'm like the weird student. I'm part jock, part nerd. So I walk over and I pop Henry in the back of the head. Yo, get off the girls' tip and let's sit down. Mr. Boy's here.
Oh, wait a minute. Do you? What did you say? You popped Henry?
Ain't Henry the jock?
Yes.
The jock in the room? Yeah.
I have a GM intrusion for you.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I will give I'll give Trevor the other XP.
How much EXP did we start with?
Everyone should have 1.
All right, I'm only asking because Mike's sheet had 2. I'm assuming it was just from the last time. All right, so now I have actually 2. Okay, thank you.
The minute you push him, you see him turn around, and he said, "What did I tell you about touching me?" And then you feel a nick at your pants. And you got pants, your pants pulled down, and you see that there's 2 little mice scurrying in either direction.
I look at him, I said, yeah. I said, even with my pants down, I don't lose composure. Oh, so now you want to give everybody a show. You feel inadequate, don't you? And pull my pants back up.
When you say that, you see Haley gives a smirk, and he turns around, looks at her, and then he looks embarrassed, and he goes and takes a seat.
Does he have like an exposed like metal belt buckle?
He's wearing he's wearing the SKYHIGH gym suit. You know what I mean? Like the
track suit.
Yeah, the track suit.
So definitely not.
Alright, fine.
He's a jack.
No, you guys realize that doesn't bother me one little bit.
Yeah.
Hey, look at
If Kyle is just kind of a little still hyped up about all this, I'll try to talk to him and say, Kyle, be cool, be cool. You taught me that word. This be cool. Let's go. Let's sit down.
And whilst all this is going on, I just come up, have a look at the box, and just overlooking the actual duplicates, and go, I'll have that one, and I make it disappear and grab it.
And you see her, like there's like now she like condensed the duplicates to like 4. So it's like your guys, I'm assuming your guys take up like 5 seats, and then there's 2 of her on either side, like to make your group look bigger than what it actually is. And she also, and then she zooms back into one other person. He goes, "You guys never let me have any fun."
I look over. Are you serious? Do you know what would happen if Mom found out that something happened to you?
You're always talking about. I could take care of myself. I made the hero program just like you, didn't I? I passed the hero exam.
Yeah, you did. I say it just like that, like, sure.
Mr. Boy, you see, he pulls out a mug and he slams the mug on his desk, and you see like a ripple wave hit the class and freezes everyone where they're at. And he goes,
messing with some clay.
Yeah, like you see that, what you call it, there's some gray student in the back picking his nose.
What's their superpower?
Oh, Dean, you missed this part, but we said every time that there's a gray student in the back, that's like a non-essential character. And when I say what's his power, you guys got to tell me what his superpower is. He or she.
Mucus mutation or mucus manipulation.
Yes. No, he was picking his nose, and since his mucus manipulation, he's green. And you see like the mucus is bubbling up in his nose. and then when he lifts up the mug, everything goes back. He goes, "Now take a seat. Professor Genius is waiting." And you see Professor Genius is walking in, and was walked in and standing watching you guys, do this buffoonery. Right? And he's holding a jeweled case, right? It's a jeweled box with glowing orbs. There's about 3 metallic glowing orbs hovering around this box.
I instead of keeping my seat in the semicircle, as I approach, I push it back a little bit with the magnetism power, and then like sit towards the back and put the hood of my hoodie up.
he goes, "Good evening, class. As many of you are in my freshman science class, I hope you studied for Wednesday's exam. It's going to be quite a doozy." And you hear Kyle go, "Yes, sir. I have all the first 14 chapters memorized. Thank you, Kyle. I know." I was talking to the other less fortunate students. Well, anyway, I just come to bring the great news and to let all you guys know. Could everyone please stand up and give a round of applause for your fellow classmate, Kyle Sunyak?
I don't stand up, but I clap.
It just recently came to our attention this morning, matter of fact, that Kyle has won the National Science Fair with his, his wonderful work in nuclear radiation, developing a stabilizer. It's quite fascinating work, and if you have 45 minutes, I'm pretty sure Kyle can work out the math for you. He did it for me yesterday. It was very fascinating indeed. Kyle goes, "Sir, do you want me to get up and work out the math for them now?" No, that's fine, Kyle. That's fine. But I'm sure you could ask them later. But with Kyle winning, the school decided to do something great for the entire class because we've never have a freshman ever win the National Science Fair. So we decided to send the entire class at the end of the day to the movies for free on us.
You see
Wow.
that Trevor was distracted that whole time playing with clay because they were talking science and all this mumbo jumbo. But then you mentioned the movies, like he sucks up all the loose clay into his hands, and he's perked up listening. Like, oh, now you've got my attention.
So as Professor Poltan was saying this, Mr. Boy is handing out a movie ticket, and it says Liberty City Palace Cinemas to each of it, good for any movie in Palace Cinemas, and he's handing one to each one. He gets to the kid with the mucus power, and he hands him, and then you see him pull like a big green, like sticky mucus, and he's like shaking his hand as he gets to vanish, and he's giving him a ticket that has like some sort of mucus-like substance on the end of it.
Yuck! Cheers. I'll make that disappear. There you go. I've got that.
It just makes the mucus vanish.
And as he's making his way around giving everybody the tickets, right? He gets to Haley, and Haley goes, "Professor, what is that case you're holding? It's beautiful." Or he goes, I just picked this up on loan from the Egyptian Institute of Supernatural Studies. It's rather fascinating. Matter of fact, class, gather around. I didn't think I'll be giving a history lesson today, but let me show you. It's absolutely fascinating. Did the image change?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ooh, he said to gather around the desk, right? The desk up front. Yeah.
You see, he takes this jeweled box, and as you guys get closer, now you see that there's Egyptian hieroglyphics written all across the box, and these glowing orbs seem to be like you see now as you get closer, on closer inspection, there's some sort of like rays hitting individual hieroglyphics one at a time as it's spinning around his box. Even when he places the jeweled box on the table, they still continue to spin, widening its reach. And as every classmate gets closer, the jeweled the orbs like basically scan you. And when it goes over a student, it's like an X-ray. It shows your skeleton as it like scans you as the class gets around the box. And you hear Haley go, "That is so beautiful. What's in there?" And you see him pull out a crown and a scepter. And he's like, "Oh, I'm glad you asked. You see this? This is the eye of a moose. And this is the heart of Urbana," as he's holding, you see him put his hands gently into the box and pulls out each one of these artifacts one at a time.
Oh yeah, the heart of Ibana is cool.
I kind of want to be like,
and
why do you have the eye of a moose?
I'm sorry.
I laugh. I pulled Gilgamesh to the side to laugh.
It's a little different. It's eye of Amos and Ivana.
Yeah.
I should know. I'm from Cairo.
He goes, you want to see something cool? He's holding them very together. He puts them aside on each end of the table, and they start to like gravitate back towards each other to about a foot apart from each other. And he goes, "You see how they almost magnetically pulling to each other? It is if they were meant to be together." Well, maybe they were. There's a legend that says 1400 BC, there was an evil pharaoh named Nimrod, and he had a beautiful daughter named Ibana, who some believe to have special powers to turn dreams into reality. The pharaoh was planning to marry off his daughter to a neighboring warlord, to increase power in the region, I would guess. Ibana was such a kind and loving princess and she had other plans. She fell in love with a young general in his army named Amus. They planned to elope. The pharaoh discovered her plans and he had her executed. Can you believe that? He killed his own daughter. And you hear, I know that's right, by another gray student. What's that student's power?
Sonic abilities. He can throw his voice and shoot sonic bursts of energy.
All right, so that's beautiful. So I have a GM intrusion for you, Sculpture.
Oh yeah, I'll take it for sure.
Who you giving the XP to?
I'm giving the XP to Gilgamesh for his great joke about the moose.
Yeah.
You can see that sculpture still laughing. A moose, like
Yo, the sound came from like it was coming out of your mouth, and Mr. Boy looked at you and he held up a demerit card and went like this.
I just shrug at him like, I don't. Does it sound like me, Mr. Boy?
He goes, the pharaoh was planning to marry his daughter to a neighboring warlord to increase regional power. Ibana was I read that already. The pharaoh discovered her plans and had her executed. Her heart was removed and crystallized and placed on this royal scepter as a warning to all who disobeyed him. Amus was heartbroken because he lost his love and furious about the demise of his love, so he raised the army to overthrow the pharaoh. After several years of war and strife, the general finally won and had his revenge, though it was bittersweet. He never married, and it's said he had his left eye removed and placed in the crown you see before you, because he claimed he would never see beauty again without his beloved Ibana. For over 1,000 years after his death, every pharaoh made sure to place the eye of a moose on their queen's head on their wedding day, with the hopes of giving his wife the everlasting beauty of the Princess Ibana. Then place it back with the scepter so the lost lovers could be reunited again. A few years ago, a team of archaeologists discovered this box containing the jewels while excavating a tomb in Cairo. Maybe the exchange student knows. Maybe he heard about something like that. Can you believe it? The lost lovers has lived together for centuries. It's such a beautiful story, isn't it? And when he says that, you notice that Haley is trying to touch the crown, and Professor Genius kind of like slaps her hand away. He goes, no, please let's not touch the artifacts. He goes, well, I just thought it'd be cool to show you guys. What do you guys think? Isn't this awesome? Isn't a tale of lost love just the greatest?
Real quick though, while they were talking, telling us about the items, would it be possible for me to have made small replicas, or even, I don't know how big these items are. I don't know if you'll allow me to make like an actual size replica out of clay. I am specialized in trained at sculpting things.
You just want to make one that looks like it.
Yeah, right? Exactly. Like
yeah, I mean, if you want it identical, I would say you have to roll. If you want it close enough, you don't have to roll.
I want an identical, I'll just pick one of them. Let's go with the crown. I want to make an identical replica of the crown, like full size, all that.
Yeah, it just won't have the gold.
Yeah, it'll be clay, basically.
Yeah,
it's a clay
yeah, so give me a difficulty 3 roll for your ability.
All right, 1 second. I'm trained in sculpting, so I'll drop it 1.
And your ability will also drop it 1, so you need higher than a 3.
Gotcha. All right. 1 second. Intellect. Bing, bang, boom. What did I roll?
A 2.
Oh my god! I'm just gonna take. I just take the
2. Your crown is like warped, and the like how in the image of the it looks like I was gonna get gross. Forget about it. It looks weird. Let's just say it mimics a particular person's private body part.
You could no. Okay, so I'll do it. I got this right. So I go and try to like recreate this elegant looking crown with these like dual snakes. Those are snakes, right at the top, and it's like elegant looking orb in the middle. But instead, I get this wonky looking like warped crown. And it looks like there's these like two mushrooms just instead of snakes, and they're spotted, and it looks just kind of weird. And they're not even like symmetrical, like one's smaller and one's like kind of long. And as soon as I take it, I put it on my head proudly. It's still, and like kind of sideways it, and just like.
And when he does that, I look over and I go, "You're definitely getting a demerit for that one."
As your guys were all looking at Kimberly. Points to some of the market. He goes, "What is that hieroglyph of the same image I keep on seeing on as the professor's putting the artifacts back in the box and closing it?" He goes, "Oh, those markings there? Are you talking about, Kimberly? That's the mark of Anus, the protector of the dead. Haven't you ever heard of him?" And she goes, I see there's several of them around the box." He goes, "Yeah. I guess they put those markings because they probably believe that he's watching over them over time. But enough of this, guys. Enough of this, guys. This will be in my office if anyone else wants to come and check it out, or perhaps write a paper about it. I love to give extra credit." And then Mr. Boyd goes, "Oh, yeah, sculpture volunteers to write a paper since he had a potty mouth."
I take off my crown. And I hand it to Professor Genius or whatever we call it. Say, "Hey, Prof, would this count as your creative piece on the subject?" And I got for extra credit, and I just like hand it to him.
You see him look at it, and then he hands it back and goes, "No."
All right, I put it back on.
He goes, "Enough of this, guys. Have a great rest of the day. Don't forget you have me for 5th period, and please don't forget to buy Kyle some popcorn at the movie theater, because without him, you guys wouldn't be getting these free movie tickets."
Say what can do, Prof, and I turn to go back to my seat.
Could everyone give me a perception roll, and could somebody tell me if any of you guys get higher than a target number 5?
Let me see if I have any.
Yeah, let's check.
I don't have any skills. I'm not using effort. Just gonna roll it out.
So
I don't beat it. I just missed. I got 14. Oh my god, these rolls! What's happening?
It's roll 20. Roll 20 is very.
Yo, everybody rolled like 10. What's happening? Except me, I rolled 14. Oh my god, another.
there it is. Oh, nope.
You rolled twice though. The first roll was a fail. Oh wait, no, you're foolish, right? Is someone foolish?
Difficulty 5.
Okay.
Yeah, Ali passed, right?
Yeah, I'm just lucky.
Vanished while everybody else was like either getting back to the seat, and there was another gray student that did something to catch everyone's attention. That's why no one knew who was this gray student, what was his power, and what did he do to catch the entire class attention.
I already have an idea, but I already gave up with the mucus one. But no one has an idea.
I got one with the Sonic guys. So come on, guys, get in there.
I'll put somebody in the spot.
So, sorry, I thought you were asking Ollie to do that, but he crafts.
They were crafting an illusion, and they made.
Oh, I think.
Okay.
Oh,
sorry.
Yeah.
No, you were cutting off for a moment.
Oh, I'm losing. Yeah, I've got unstable connection at the moment, which is not good.
We can hear you though. You sound okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It was crafted an illusion, and so there was actually there was just like an Egyptian woman with a crown and a scepter just appeared.
Someone created the illusion, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so everyone saw this illusion of an Egyptian woman with a mimic of the crown. So that caught everyone's attention, except for Vanish. So and Vanish saw in the corner of his eye that when the professor left, so did Jordan, the Haley's twin, and you saw you peeked as Jordan ran out. She basically ran out the classroom, and you see that Haley is crying, and Henry has like his arm around her, like consoling her somehow.
I'm still obliviously messing with my crown.
And I just like look at and I just notice. I just tap on Sculpture's shoulder and go, Jordan's gone.
I look. What?
Shortly after that, Haley goes, and I have a GM intrusion for you, Vanish. Who you giving the XP to?
I'm going to give it to, I think, Marcos.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. You see Henry looks at you, and he goes, "What are you looking at, nerd?" And he goes over and knocks everything off your desk, and he runs out the classroom.
Can I get a player intrusion? When he goes to do that to Kevin, that's a no. I mean, Kevin's everybody. We love everybody loves Kevin, and I step in front of him. It's like, look, dude, we're not doing this kind of stuff today, not at all. And I gave him the two fingers like, now you can try it. But you know what we didn't have the last time.
Henry has two other jocks in the class.
Mm-hmm.
What powers these gray guys have?
One of them probably is super strong, and the other one is it's that guy that can stretch.
All right. So they both get up behind him, and he goes, "Henry, it ain't worth it." He looks at you. And he goes, "Yeah, you right." And then he looks at Ali. He goes, "I see you when I see you." And then his friend goes, "That doesn't make sense. He's invisible most of the time." Shut the fuck up. As
he goes to leave, can I is he wearing like a backpack, or is he too cool for that?
He could have a backpack. Yeah, he would probably grab his backpack because the bell's ringing now. Like the home bell is ringing, so everyone could. Okay,
then that's better. I'll actually kind of not. This is kind of atypical of me. I usually wait till last to leave the classroom because I'm me. But I walk out after him, and I use the bits of magnetism to unzip his backpack from a distance, and just everything starts to tumble out.
He's got a Hello Kitty notebook in there.
No, that'll cost you an XP.
I'll spend it. Another XP.
Yeah. His backpack opens up and there's a Hello Kitty thermos and Trapper Keeper.
Hey, kitty.
You see when it drops, and then all of a sudden you see that there's several bugs putting everything back into his bag for him.
Like, hey, kitty.
He looks at you and glares, and he runs off. Since this was first period, you guys have anything you want to do for the rest of the day before we skip until the end of the day? So if there's anything you guys want to do as characters, you could say it now, and we could make that happen because you have about 7 periods of class. I don't know if you guys travel to class together or if you travel separately.
So I
don't know where it would be. Like I said, I probably have a couple of classes that nobody else has because I am, involved in a couple of the sports teams because of my, capability. But like I said, I'm the weird one. I'm a library monitor too.
So basically, what Sculpture does during school time is he'll go to class and basically sit for I don't know how roll call or whatever works, so he's marked as there. And then essentially, since he can phase through stuff and make make stuff, he'll set a book up and like make a clay like silhouette kind of like if you looked in that like not too closely obviously, but like if you just glance in that direction, you kind of assume he was sitting there. But at the same time, seep through the floor or through the walls or whatever to leave and go cut and go to like the art whatever, the studio whatever, to just make pottery.
Throughout the day, you get away with a couple of classes, but you also pick up 2 more detentions along the course of the day.
Take it.
Because due to a superhero school, they have ways of figuring out when people use their powers.
Yeah.
Because you're not supposed to use your powers inside the school unless it's designated classes that's specific, like hero training or gym.
Yeah, I would definitely still be taking the risk.
Yeah. So the rest of the day goes uneventful. The one thing you guys do notice is that everyone that's had a class with Haley or Jordan, that Jordan disappeared the rest of the day. So you might have seen Jordan, like you saw Jordan in homeroom, and if you had a class with her later in the day, you failed to see her at all. Did the image change?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The end of the school day, and you guys are all waiting for your school bus to take you back home, but instead of home, it's taking class 318 to Liberty City's most famous and beautiful state-of-the-art cinema, Palace Cinemas.
Yeah.
Yay.
You hear like a crowd of children as the bus pulls up. Yeah.
What are we gonna see? What are we gonna see? What are we gonna see?
As the the bus pulls off and lands into Palace Cinemas, it pulls into the parking lot, and you see that there's like several other regular school buses, maybe for the kids that won the regulars, the classrooms that won the regular science fairs, right? And you see on the big marquee, they have 8 movies featured.
Oh, that's a lot of movies.
Cool.
Right. The school lets out the entire class. You open the parking lot. You see several of your classmates. They immediately rush to get on the line, to pick a film to view. And you see a few other cars and 1 or 2 buses scattered about. You see several other people waiting online, waiting to purchase the tickets. And Kyle comes up to you. He goes, guys, let's submit our tickets. What does everyone want to see? And I'm gonna tell you the movies that are now
cool.
hidden. All right, so the first movie on the marquee is Care Bears the movie.
No.
The second movie is Transformers: The Rise of Megatron.
Yes.
Possibility.
The third movie is Titanic Remastered.
No.
The fourth movie is Jurassic Park 5 in 3D.
Oh, yes.
The fourth movie is Parking Lot Love, starring Jennifer Lopez and Matthew McConaughey.
Is that a real movie?
No, I made it up.
Okay, I just want to be sure because that sounds like it could be a real movie.
The sixth movie is The Hobbit. The seventh movie is Fast and Furious 8, now way faster and way more furious.
Yeah.
And the last movie is Dungeons and Dragons, the movie, a re-release.
Oh.
It was bad first time round.
So
all right, you guys. All right, hold on a second.
My vote would be for Fast and the Furious or the Transformers or Jurassic Park.
Yep, same with me. And if I'm too young, I will just disappear and go in anyway.
Trevor.
Also, you guys, just so you know, you all don't have to watch the same movie. You have a ticket to see any movie in the theater.
I know, but I'm just saying we're all hanging out.
Yeah.
And I can't. And I look at Kimberly and I go, yeah, those are the choices, Kimberly. There will be no love in the parking lots, and
Kimberly opens up her book bag and pulls out her notebook, and It has a big picture of Matthew McConaughey. on the-
No way I'm
He's
not
in
seeing-
Fast and Furious 8. Matthew McConaughey's in Fast and Furious 8.
And
Everyone
she
knows
goes,
this.
I know what I want to watch, and she starts walking towards the line.
I say to the group, I say, Fast and the Furious should be exciting. You know, they always got some high powered, a high fuel. What do they call it? High octane, high adrenaline action.
Yeah.
And it's always a good time. You know those films, especially after the 6th, and the 7th. They just keep getting higher and higher. Like, you know, what is it? Exaggerated.
Those guys are like superheroes, but not superheroes, but superheroes.
Exactly. He knows. He knows what I'm talking about.
There's one last gray student that interrupts you. What's his name and what's his power?
Oh,
he has a name now.
Terrence, it's Terrence Jenkins, and we call him Hunger because he runs around. He like can replicate food, and he likes to eat a lot. And as he eats it, he gets like super charged up on high carbs. So,
So he interrupts you, and you notice that he has a brown paper bag, and every time he dips in, there's a big glazed donut that he pulls out, and he goes, "Yeah, but how fast could you really go? You know, the 7th one was really fast, and this one has to be way faster." As he starts walking towards the line, he just wanted to interrupt you, and there's like a trail crumb of like a glazed donut.
I'll be like, "Yo, Philip, you got an extra donut in there?"
You see him go into the thing, and he digs in his hat, and he pulls out an egg Claire. He goes, "Oh, I got an egg Claire. You want that?"
There you go. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. And then he digs back in, and then you see he pulls out another donut. He tries to like hide it from you as he
I look at these. I'm like, I love that guy. He's so random.
Yeah. So you guys could think about what movie you want to watch.
I mean, I'm kind of partial to Transformers.
All right, well, that's 3 votes for Transformers, it seems like. What about you, Sandclaw?
I was thinking Jurassic, and with Kevin, because it's like history, yeah.
You've never seen a Jurassic Park movie, have you?
No. And I want to know this 3D too.
Oh, we're definitely going to see Jurassic Park then.
Just do it.
Goes, but guys, I heard that Care Bears was a really good one.
Yeah,
Well,
Kyle.
Carl, I'd go.
Good.
I'd see it with you, but I really want to see either Fast and Furious or Jurassic. I mean, we can go another time.
I ruffle Kyle's hair. Like, yeah, Kyle, they're really good, but we're going to see Jurassic Park because our exchange student here wants to see history in 3D.
And Carl, you love dinosaurs. Yeah, you do love dinosaurs. You're interested in the biology of them, so.
What's it called?
I saw one of your projects, yes.
Oh yeah, I did come up with a concept of a time machine added to my belt, but interdimensional travel has very difficult math that I haven't fully figured out yet. But I could tell you guys as we walk into the line, what I have figured out if you have about 20 minutes or so.
But
You know what, Kyle?
Okay, Kyle,
Why not?
Be cool.
After I was just gonna say, after there was mention of Jurassic Park and people were getting more excited about that idea, you see that Trevor actually gets more excited as well, because remember I mentioned earlier he had like a little dinosaur on his desk made out of clay. And if we're looking at this cinematically, I'll just describe it cinematically. After you guys mention Jurassic Park, like his face lights up and he starts walking towards the line, to redeem his ticket for Jurassic Park, and you see on his backpack there's like a big predation, like what is it, decal for his backpack, like a patch sewn on. He's like, I love dinosaurs, he says as he walks to the line.
And I pull out my predation RPG book. It's wonderful. It's made by the beautiful Shauna Germain. I love this book.
He knows. I don't get out of line. It's like, come, Kevin. Let's get our ticket for Jurassic Park. It'll be some good inspiration for a predation game. I bet.
Yes.
And all the students love predation.
Yes.
I have a GM intrusion for you, Gilgamesh.
Yo.
Who you giving the XP to?
Let's give it to. We give it to Vanish.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
As your guys all start getting on the line, and what you call it, Kimberly was kind enough to create duplicates to hold a spot on the line for you. So as soon as your guys got behind her duplicates erased, and you got to skip the line basically.
Yeah.
And you see all the normies are giving you
Looks.
like bad looks, but the rest. Since you had stated earlier that you like to be like the last person, you kind of backed away from the group a little bit, and before you got to get on the line, an arm goes on your shoulder, and you turn around and you notice it's Henry with his two friends, and Haley, but not Jordan, and he grabs you, and he goes, hey, I don't want to get in any fight or nothing, but have you seen Jordan?
I instinctively, as he grabs me, I kind of turn and ready something, and then I'm like, no.
I knew you had, and then Haley interrupts, but I know you have last period with her.
I mean, she wasn't there. I assumed you walked out just after her this morning, so I figured you knew where she was.
Yeah.
Are we all kind of out together, hearing this as well, or?
No, your guys are on the line. He's just by himself, and he goes, hey, look, I know we usually have our problems and stuff, but if Haley really worried about her sister. If you see her, could you just let us know? We're gonna be in Titanic, okay?
Sure. Yeah. And just so you know, I'm not doing this for you, but for her.
Yeah, I figured that. That trick you pulled, payback's a bitch. We'll deal with that later at some other time. Give me a perception check.
Any level?
Difficulty 4.
4. Okay. I don't even know what I rolled. What did I roll? It's 9. I beat it.
You try.
Yeah. Sorry.
When he walks past you, you see that his book bag is glowing as he walks past you.
Fuck it. I do the same thing I did this morning, and I unzip his backpack.
Give me an initiative roll.
Oh boy.
Difficulty 4.
4.
Unzip
Okay.
his backpack.
Where is
This guy?
I rolled 21. What?
Oh.
Why did I roll 21?
Oh, you're trained, so you got 18 plus 3.
Oh, yeah. That
All
makes sense.
Yeah, you won initiative, but you're gonna have to roll for this because there's a reason why you're gonna have to roll for this because of Haley.
Okay.
So it's gonna be a difficulty 4 roll to open his backpack. Actually, no, because of Haley, it's gonna be a difficulty 5 roll.
Okay. What's Haley doing?
She never took her eyes off you when he said he walked away. She stood there when you said I'm doing it for her.
Okay. You know what? I'm still gonna do it. I'm gonna apply a level of effort to the roll as well. Yep. Yeah.
All right, the bag opened, right?
Yeah.
Somebody roll me a d20 for me.
Who?
Just roll a d20, anybody.
Got it.
All right, the bag opened, right? And you saw something about to fall out, and then the bag went from his back and just transferred over to Haley. She grabbed it and zipped it and put it over her shoulder, right? Give me a perception roll in that split second to see. Difficulty 5.
Difficulty 5.
Yes.
Oh wait, did I? I think I did that roll wrong, but sure. Difficulty 5. You know what? I'm gonna apply another level of effort.
Yes.
That. And you said perception, right?
Yes.
Damn.
All right. You saw something. What? You saw the glint of like something shining. Like a beam of light. As she like quickly zipped it, but you couldn't get what it was, and then she looked at you and then turned it in front of her, like covering her body, like instead of hanging from the back to the front, and she gave you like a long stare with her eyes widening, like her eyes widened, like a look of shock, and she rushed them forward. As she says that, you see a replica of Kimberly slap you in the back of the head. and she goes, dude, I've been holding the line for you for like 15 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't on you, and I was curious.
Come on. I think the guys, they finally decided. I think they're going to see Care Bears. I'm not sure because I was getting parking lot love tickets.
We're not going to see Care Bears. You already know what we're going to see.
Yeah. Have fun with that.
I'm pretty sure they said Care Bears, though.
I know where we're going. We're going to go see Jurassic Park. Yeah. So, have fun. I'll keep an eye out.
Give me a perception roll.
All right. What level?
Difficulty 3.
3. Okay. Perception.
Oh,
yeah.
Let's go.
First
Natural
one.
You are going to see Care Bears.
That's the whole intrusion. You are seeing. You believed her, and now it's Care Bear.
Yeah, looks like you just got the ticket from Kimberly there.
Hey, guys, you in here? Where you guys at?
That's so funny.
Don't. That's hilarious,
bruh.
You good? Just so you know, as soon as the movie starts, I'm slipping out and trying to get into a different one. I don't care. It can be anything else. Well, maybe not anything. But...
You also noticed with the one, she convinced you that you believe her wholeheartedly that it's Care Bears. The guys got the tickets for. They went in already. But you also noticed that she was looking at you and blushing. And like, you just got a sort of weird feeling that she's been looking at you a lot lately.
All right. But we're like in different movies. So yeah. Okay.
All right, so who are we gonna do first? Oh, we'll hold off on Jera. But Jera, when you get to the theater, there's like 4 seats. It's pretty much empty.
Oh, yeah.
All the way, like you go to sit down and you like looking for these people as the lights start dimming back, and then all of a sudden, as you like, wait, you start calling out, like guys, you turn around and you see that Cal is in there, and he's like waving for you to come over.
Yeah. All right. I guess I'll go sit next to Kyle.
All right, and directly in front of you is an older couple with what looks like 3 or 4, maybe their grandkids, and them, you two, and then behind you is a group of maybe about campers, maybe about 15 7-year-olds, boys and girls with two counselors, and those are the only people in the theater. All right.
Okay.
All right, and we'll go to the rest of the group.
Are we already in the theater? Or are we still?
Yeah. Your guys are in the theater. Where do you guys want to sit? In the front or the back of the theater? Where do you guys want to sit?
Out the back.
Firstly,
in the middle for optimum seating.
So
you get sound coming at the right angles. I've done I pull a card. I look at it. I did the math.
Oh no! When you pulled to tell Kyle that, Kyle isn't there.
Oh yeah,
your guys are all like, "Where the hell's Kyle?"
Yeah.
But while you guys were like, I'm just gonna say y'all went into the theater first, and you're arguing about the seats. Trevor went to go get concessions for everyone. So what you guys see when he comes back is, most of the time you get like a tray of all the stuff or whatever, like, and there's like 6 different buckets of popcorn. He just has like in one hand a giant ass clay pot of popcorn, like huge bowl of popcorn is gonna sit in his lap and like maybe pass it to people, and then again like a huge like clay container of soda. But then the sodas he has multiple of, like he'll have a soda for each person. But then there's like only that one big ass bowl of popcorn though. He's like, guys, I made it easy. We don't have to like, what you call it?
Get a refill.
Yeah, there we go. We just have to boom.
Refills and everything.
Everything. Yeah, I got the 6 like large sizes and the refills added to this one bowl. We're good.
All right, so Vanish.
Yep.
Sandclaw, Saga, and Sculpture are all in this theater, correct?
Yeah, I was already in there. I'd snuck in. I was reserving the seats.
And you, since you was all the way in there reserving the seats, you noticed that you were sitting with Kyle, and Kyle was like, I really want to see Care Bears, and he blinked. And then he was like gone.
Okay, fair enough, Carl.
You saw his belt like light up, and then he just blinked.
That must be that teleportation thing that he was talking about. Interesting.
And this theater is actually rather crowded. There's maybe about like 30 or 40 empty seats in the whole place. Most rows are full, and you were holding their seats in the front, you said?
In the middle.
In the middle. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the middle of the middle.
So directly in front of you, it was probably another high school, because there was a good, maybe about that whole front row. We're gonna say your guys are in this row. You see where I'm pinging?
Yeah.
This row right here is all high school kids laughing and joking, throwing popcorn at each other. There's a couple of rows behind that. You see, there's a group of what looks like businessmen, maybe like 5 or 6 guys in suits. You see a couple of dating couples, a couple of people with girlfriends, couple of families. The front row must have been a senior citizen layout, because there's about 20 elderly, and they all took the whole front row, and they all have Tupperware with, like, you smell lasagna and all sorts of homemade goodies. One of you might have even smelled fresh baked apple pie as they passing Tupperware around amongst themselves, right? And everyone starts to settle down. The rest of the group finally gets there, and everyone starts to settle down, right?
quick question: were we all able to sit in a row with each other, or?
Yes.
So what happens when we all sit down, right?
Hold
Trevor-
on. Okay.
No, it's just some sort of flavoring for
Yeah.
my popcorn. That's it.
Yeah.
When we sit down, what you call it? That big old bowl I had, right? That big old thing, right? I sit towards the middle of everyone if I can. And what happens is I manipulate the clay to like open the sides, kind of like shuttle doors, right? And like it stretches along everyone's lap, so like basically they have like troughs of popcorn in front of them. So like there's no like passing the bowl around or nothing. It's just very easy for everyone to have their own little popcorn, and like if they take some some more slides out of the bowl into the trough. And, so yeah, that's what happens. I flavor with the popcorn. Yeah.
Once everyone settles down, he's passing the popcorn. You guys are all laughing. The theater is loud because it's just people talking. You see how the theater starts to slowly darken. Like the lights all start fading away, and then you start to see the preview start coming on, and then more people. You see the doors close, and you see the ushers walking through with the flashlights, walking around, making their way to the back, and then exiting out, and then everything goes in as the last preview plays out. It's a new movie. What's the movie of the last preview? For shits and giggles, I just want to hear somebody improv a movie.
It was E.T.
E.T.
E.T. Part 2. The Return of E.T.
Return of E.T.
E.T.
Come home.
Yeah.
He returns.
Starring The Rock as E.T.
E.T. returns with a vengeance.
Well, everything gets dark, and it gets quiet for a minute as the first scene starts playing at Jurassic Park. You hear that classic music, and it breaks into a scene of a truck, riding through what looks like a jungle, right? And then the screen, for some reason, in your eye appears to warp and bend. Like if there was a rippling wave of water in a calm ocean, the whole screen starts to turn. And then you see a purple mist begin to appear from the bottom of the floorboards. It starts spreading slowly through the theater, going further back, fully encasing the entire theater. As the mist starts clouding everyone's vision, you hear a slight tearing sound coming from the direction of the screen. And then you hear a roar. Hold on 1 second.
Do you have an actual sound for it?
As this in between the mist, as the screen starts to tear,
dun, dun, dun.
You see what looks like 5 little velociraptors first appear, opening up the screen wider and wider, and then the large head of a T-Rex appears to scream. And mayhem starts breaking down the theater. We'll pause off, and then we'll cut till Gilgamesh.
Jesus.
All right.
So anyway, Gil, as I was telling you, the equations, they're rather fascinating. It's a lot. It took a lot of work, but I think I finally figured it out. Do you want to hear some more?
I do, but I need to go get some popcorn and drinks for us.
As you say that, because he was talking throughout the whole movie. The movie's been on for like 15 minutes now. As you say that, the lights in the theater start exploding, cascading into rainbows. And then out of all the exit doors, you hear peace and love. And this is where we'll take our first break.
Awesome. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. We're gonna take a quick break here. We'll come back with part 2 of A Night at the Movies with the wonderful Spigs 18, or Anthony as our amazingly talented GM. We're having a blast so far. I can't speak for everyone, at least I am. And yeah, from us at the CU, we'll see you in a little bit after our break.